The setting is Scotland, the year AD 1040. At the edge of a foggy bog, 4 craggy-faced witches appear. The 3 Weird Sisters and their queen, Hecate, are plotting chaos for Macbeth as a storm is brewing.
Where have you 3 been since 9?
Singing spells and killing swine, conjuring tempests on a thing to make some future trouble rain.
Here is a soldier's torn off thumb to make the spell quickly come.
When shall we meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the storm and uproar is done, when the battle's lost and won.
We'll gather on the barren heath,
There to meet with Thane Macbeth.
When the fog is thick and thin, we'll hover over him. He'll not know we're here or there. When fair is foul, and foul is fair.
A war has broken out in Scotland. At battle camp, King Duncan awaits the results. Malcolm, the king's son, and Ross, a nobleman, help a wounded man into camp.
The war is over. This courageous captain saved my life.
Poor, leading man, give me an account of the battle.
The Irish ran at us with axes in hand. Then, brave Macbeth brandished his sword till it smoked with blooded execution. Swiftly, he carved a path through the army, faced the rebel leader, and cut him from navel to chin.
Worthy Thane Macbeth.
No sooner had the Irishman died than the Norwegians attacked.
The Thane of Cawdor has turned and sided with Norway.
Traitor!
Macbeth and Banquo redoubled their strokes. But whether they won or not, I cannot say, for I grew faint from wounds.
Give this man aid.
Thanks to Macbeth, the victory fell to us.
Cawdor has betrayed us. I sentence him to death. Strip him of his title and give it to our hero Macbeth.
Banquo and Macbeth slog across the heath. Odd shapes appear and disappear in the fog.
Victory shines, yet the air hangs so dismally. So foul and fair a day I have never seen.
Suddenly, 3 witches appear out of the fog.
What are these that look like no inhabitants of the earth? Are you mortal? I may think you to be women, but your looks forbid me to believe that.
Speak, if you can.
All hail Macbeth, Thane of Glamis.
All hail Macbeth, Thane of Cawdor. All hail Macbeth, who shall be king hereafter.
Thane of Glamis I may be, but how can I become Cawdor? The present Cawdor is still alive. And how can I be king? That is unbelievable.
Strange sisters, if you can see into the seeds of time, tell me what will grow for me.
Lesser than Macbeth, but greater.
you shall bring forth kings.
Yet you shall be none.
Riddles without meaning.
Why do you stop us on this blasted heath to give us strange prophecies? Tell us more.
All hail Banquo and Macbeth.
Without saying anything, the witches fade into the fog.
Did you see what I see? Or are we hallucinating?
They vanished, like breath into the wind. They said your children shall be kings.
And you, Thane of Cawdor, and king.
Out of the fog, a handsome nobleman approaches.
Ah, Macbeth. I found you. I come from the king. He has heard of your great victory in battle. He names you the new Thane of Cawdor.
Can this be so? Rest from your journey while we consider this.
I will. And then the king bids me bring you to him.
If these hags know the truth and call me Cawdor, perhaps your children really will be kings.
And you might be king, but beware. There may be great harm in trusting the instruments of darkness. They may win us over with small truths, and harm us with even more powerful deceptions.
Harm us how? These supernatural events seem more good than ill, for truly now I am Thane of Cawdor. But King? I hate to think what I would have to do to replace good King Duncan. The image is so horrible it makes my heart knock at my ribs.
Macbeth, are you ready to go?
If chance will make me king, then chance shall have to crown me. Come, let us go to the king.
Macbeth and Banquo join Duncan in his royal palace.
Macbeth, for your loyalty and valor, I owe you more than thanks can pay.
Serving you with love and honor is payment in itself.
Banquo, I also hold you near my heart.
My duty is to you alone.
I have planted you both, and will see you grow. Stars like nobility will shine on all who are deserving. I hereby place you at the right side of my son, Malcolm. I also invest Malcolm as Prince of Cumberland. When I am gone, your loyalty shall go to him. For now, let us go to your castle in Inverness, Macbeth, and celebrate your new title.
With pleasure, my king. I will go on ahead with this joyous news and give it to my wife so that we may prepare for your arrival.
Go, valiant kinsman. We will follow shortly.
As he leaves the palace, Macbeth reflects on the changes.
Malcolm is now Prince of Cumberland? A great step for him, yet one that would lie in my way if I were to seek the throne. I might trip over it, unless I leapt over it.
Macbeth feels suddenly ashamed of his thoughts.
Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and dark desires.
Macbeth sends a note ahead to his wife, telling her of the witches and his new fortune. At the castle, Lady Macbeth reads her husband's letter.
So, dear partner in greatness, I am to be the new Thane of Cawdor, and maybe more. These women also said I shall be king. Thinking how this could take place, but tell no one.
My lord dreams of becoming great, but he is too kind to ever make it happen. He has ambition, but he's not sick enough to do what it takes to rise to the position. Yet if he would have, he must do.
My lord sends word that the king is coming.
The king? Go make ready for his arrival. This is a timely stroke of luck. Now I shall chase away all that keeps Macbeth from the Golden Crown. I shall see that he has what prophecy has promised. Duncan's visit will be a fatal one. Let nothing shake my purpose.
Shortly, Macbeth arrives.
Greetings, milady. King Duncan and the prince arrive tonight.
So I have heard. Leave tonight's business to me.
Have you made plans?
Indeed I have. The king shall not see tomorrow's sun.
I meant the feast.
Husband, your face can be read like a book. Listen, if we are to do this deed, you must show welcome in your eye, hand, and speech. You must look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it.
But I'm not so sure.
Macbeth goes to his chamber as Lady Macbeth greets the king.
Welcome, noble king. Your majesty honors our house.
Fair hostess, we are your guests tonight. Where is the Thane of Cawdor? We love him highly.
First rest from your journey, then I'll bring him to you.
Alone in his room, Macbeth reflects on his wife's words.
Would my lady really have me assassinate the king? Could I? If it is to be done, it is best done quickly. Still, there is judgment to be dealt with. If this act were the be-all and end-all, that would be one thing. But the bloody deeds we do return to plague us.
Macbeth talks himself out of killing Duncan.
I am Duncan's kinsman and subject. As his host, I should block the door to those who would harm him, not bear the knife myself. What's more, his death will evoke the pity of all, and their tears will drown out the wind. No, I have nothing but ambition to spur me on, and that is not enough.
Lady Macbeth comes looking for her husband.
The king asks for you.
You and I must go no further with plans to remove him. He's just honored me with a new title. People think well of me now.
Has your hope of being king gone pale? Or are you afraid to be the same in action as in desire? What are you, a man or a coward?
Peace, woman! You question my manhood? I dare do everything a man would do.
What beast made you change your mind? When it was a vague idea, you dared to do it. Then you were a man. Now that you have a real opportunity, you shrink from it. If I had sworn to do something, I would kill my own child before I would break my vow.
What if we fail?
Fail? Set the arrow of your courage right. We will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, I will ply his men with wine until they lose all reason and memory. When they sleep like pigs and Duncan is unguarded, you and I can do anything. We will use his attendants' daggers so that they will bear the guilt.
You have more mettle than 10 men. But I ask you, will the others believe that Duncan's own servants did the deed?
They will when they hear how loudly we roar with grief.
Then I'm settled. I summon my strength to the feat. Let's go to the king's feast. False face must hide what the false heart does know.
The banquet ends very late that night. Finally, the king retires. Macbeth paces the hallways, thinking of the crime he may commit. In the dark, Macbeth comes upon Banquo.
Who goes there?
A friend, I, Macbeth. Why are you wandering here?
I cannot get to sleep. Cursed thoughts and visions keep appearing to me. Why aren't you at rest?
Thoughts of the king have kept me awake. Whether he was pleased with the feast, that is.
I'm sure he was. Tonight I dreamt of the Weird Sisters. They showed you some truth, didn't they?
I haven't thought about them in a while. My lady is fixing me a tonic, and she will ring the bell when it is ready. Try to get some sleep.
Thanks, sir, and to you too.
When he is alone, Macbeth begins to hallucinate. He sees a dagger.
Is this dagger I see before me handled toward my hand? Come, let me clutch you.
He swipes at the dagger.
I see you, but cannot grasp you. Are you a dagger of the mind?
Macbeth thinks he sees blood on the dagger.
Now your blade is smeared with blood. Lack of sleep and wicked nightmares are playing tricks on my mind.
The phantom knife floats toward the king's room. As if hypnotized, Macbeth follows.
You lead the way I was going, so my horror follows your horror. Let me move like a ghost, so my steps are not heard.
It is Lady Macbeth's signal that all is clear.
I go do what I must. Duncan, hear not this sorry bell, for it is your death knell.
Lady Macbeth is sneaking through the castle halls. She sees that Duncan's door is open.
Macbeth is about it. The drugged attendants are snoring.
What? Oh!
Suppose they've woken and the business is not yet done. I laid their daggers out so we couldn't miss them.
Macbeth stumbles out into the hallway.
I've done the deed. Did you hear a noise?
When?
Just now.
I heard you speak.
I was not speaking. One of the servants laughed in his sleep. The other cried, "Murder! Murder!"
Macbeth stares at his bloody hands.
This is a sorry sight.
Do not regret your action.
Did you hear a noise? I swear I just heard someone say, "Sleep no more." Macbeth murders sleep.
Think not on these deeds or they will make us mad.
Macbeth, she'll never sleep again.
Snap out of it. A sick mind will bend your noble strength. Get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. And why did you bring this dagger with you? It must lie next to his attendants. Take it back and smear their hands with blood.
I cannot. I dare not look again on what I have done.
Do you forget your purpose? Here, I'll do it myself.
Lady Macbeth goes into Duncan's bedchamber. She replaces the knife, smears the blood on the servants to make it look like they had done the killing, and returns to her husband.
Do not be so lost in thought. A little water clears us of this deed.
All of Neptune's oceans will not wash this blood from my hands.
At the crack of dawn, Lennox and Macduff arrive at Inverness looking for the king. Macbeth greets them at the door.
The king has asked us to call for him early.
Yes, I heard he had to leave today. Come, here's his room.
Macduff enters to wake the king. Macbeth and Lennox wait in the hallway.
Last night during the storm, strange screams of death were heard. Some say the earth itself did shake.
It was a rough night.
Oh, horror!
Macduff rushes back out into the hallway.
What is it?
Unholy murder! His Majesty himself has been murdered!
Murdered?
The king is dead! Go and see for yourselves! Murder! Treason!
Macbeth and Lennox rush into the king's room.
Ring the alarm! Malcolm, Banquo, awake! Rise up and witness this horror!
A bell is rung throughout the castle. Lady Macbeth, Banquo, and Malcolm run into the hall.
What awfulness calls us?
Our royal master and father is murdered.
Woe, alas, in our house?
Dear Duff, say it isn't so.
Who has done this?
Lennox and Macbeth stumble out of the bedchamber.
The servant's hand and daggers are smeared with blood.
I could not hold back my fury. I killed those murderers.
Why did you do that?
Who could be wise when they see their king dead, and next to him, his slayers? My love outran my reason.
Oh, help us.
As everyone tends to her, Malcolm slumps against the wall.
Hold off sorrow. To show sadness is easy for false men.
Let us investigate this bloody piece of work.
Get dressed and ready yourself to fight this treason. Then meet me in the hall.
All leave, but the prince.
Not I. It is not safe here. My father's servants would have never killed the Lord. I ride to England. Who murdered the king would also remove the prince.
In the coming days, King Duncan is buried. When Macbeth learns that the king's son has disappeared, he blames the murder on Malcolm.
Malcolm.
Malcolm cannot rule Scotland from England, so the crown goes to the next in line, Macbeth. He is crowned king and moves into the palace. Banquo and his son Fleance visit.
The witches were right. Macbeth now has it all. Glamis, Cawdor, and king. But I fear he played foully for it.
The new king welcomes Banquo to court.
Our chief guest has arrived. Tonight, we shall have a solemn supper. You will attend, won't you, Banquo?
My duty is to do what your highness commands.
I hear Malcolm is telling tales. He denies killing his father. What do you think of that?
Counsel me on what I should think.
When Macbeth is alone again, he paces nervously.
Banquo bears himself royally. He has clear sight and wisdom. I fear no man the way I fear him.
Macbeth calls for a servant.
Find me someone who needs work.
Macbeth returns to his dark thoughts.
The sisters said Banquo would father a line of kings. Have I murdered Duncan to see his sons take my crown?
Macbeth counsels a rough peasant.
Why does the king call upon a misfortune like me?
Your low fortune is the fault of Lord Banquo. He's an enemy to the common man and to me.
For a fee or a favor, I will do away with him for you, sire.
Strike him down for good, and see that his son Fleance embraces the same fate. Be my assistant in this, and I will see that you have a new position in life. But keep this business quiet.
It is done, sire.
That evening, the king proceeds to supper with the queen.
You seem so preoccupied, my lord. Have we gained what we desired only to lose our joy?
My mind is afflicted by terrible nightmares. I'd be better off with the dead, whom we've sent to peace.
What's done is done.
While Banquo lives, my mind is full of scorpions.
Forget him. Be bright with our guests tonight, or they will guess our secret.
Macbeth and Lady Macbeth enter the banquet hall.
Hearty welcome to all. Sit and partake.
Before he sits, Macbeth is pulled aside by the criminal.
Is Banquo dispatched?
His throat is well cut.
And his son the same?
Fleance has escaped.
Fool! Go look for him. These have all spied me. I feel a fit coming on.
My lord, you must appear more cheerful.
Macbeth starts to sit in his chair, but it is occupied by Banquo's ghost.
Who is this?
Why don't you sit, sire?
The table is full.
No, here's a seat for you.
No one but Macbeth can see the ghost of Banquo.
Banquo?
He has not come. His absence breaks his promise.
Do not shake your gory locks at me. It is not I who did this deed.
Pay no attention to my husband. He often has strange fits, a condition from childhood.
Strange indeed. Your face appalls the devil. Get back to the grave.
Gentlemen, let us leave. The king is not well.
No, stay, sit and eat. You will offend him if you notice his infirmity. Ignore him, and his fit will pass more quickly. Fie, for shame, you're looking at an empty chair.
There was a time when a man's brains were out, he was dead. Now the dead rise again and push us from our stools.
Stop this. Your guests are watching.
Worthy friends, do not worry about me. Fill my glass. Good health to all.
You've ruined the mood.
How can you look on such a sight and not go pale?
What sight, my lord?
Questions will enrage him. It might be best if you all go.
Good night. Better health, your majesty.
What is all this?
I have had Banquo killed, yet he haunts me here. Say, why isn't Macduff here?
You worry too much. It is unmanly. Go get some sleep.
Yes, sleep. Fear abuses me. I have been so deep in this blood I shall wait no more.
The next day, Macbeth seeks out the 4 witches to foretell his fate. He finds them in a cave. The 3 weird sisters and Hecate are stirring a black cauldron.
Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw. Toad sweating venom got, boil first in the charmed pot. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble. Fillet of snake, boil and bake, eye of newt, toe of frog, wool of bat, and tongue of dog.
Lizard's leg and owlet's wing make the potion's magic sting.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble.
By the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes.
Macbeth enters the cave.
How now, my midnight hags? What does my future hold?
Our spell will show you.
Thunder resounds as a head rises out of the pot.
Beware, Macduff, beware the stain of life.
Why should I? What will happen?
The phantom does not answer and disappears. Another phantom appears.
Be bloody and bold. None of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
All are born of women. Thus, I need to fear no one. Not even Macduff.
A third phantom appears.
Be courageous and proud, for Macbeth shall never be vanquished until great Burnham Woods has come to Dunsinane.
Ha! A forest cannot unfix its roots and move. I shall live long. But tell me, will Banquo's children be kings?
A vision appears, showing 8 kings standing in a line. The last one holds a mirror, reflecting an endless line of heirs. Banquo's ghost follows, laughing in scorn.
No! No! Curses on you all!
Shaken, Macbeth rides back to his palace and steals inside. Around a corner, Macbeth overhears Lady Macduff telling a nobleman that she doesn't know where her husband has gone. Macbeth grows furious.
If Macduff has turned against me and fled, then he too shall taste my wrath.
Macduff, Thane of Fife, went to England to find Scotland's true heir, Prince Malcolm.
Scotland is in chaos. Banquo is murdered, and Macbeth blames Fremont, his son.
Just as he blamed me for my father's death when I fled. That is too much coincidence. Macduff, you thought Macbeth was honest, yet he is treacherous.
I've lost all hope for him.
Our country sinks beneath his yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each day a new gash is added to its wounds. Macbeth is deceitful, malice, and smacking of every sin that has a name.
Then raise an army and return to claim your throne.
I have none of the graces to make a good king, not justice, mercy, or patience. I'm too quarrelsome, too greedy. With power in my hands, peace and unity will never reign.
Oh, Scotland, when will your wholesome days return? Your king was a saint, but your prince feels unfit to rule. My hope is gone. I banish myself from Scotland.
No, good Macduff. Your passion moves me to put off my weak thoughts. I am young and inexperienced, but I pledge myself to your honor and my country.
As he speaks, a nobleman comes in. I've ridden all night to find you. At home, more men have grown distrustful of Macbeth. They have left the court and are ready to fight with us against him.
Then I will rally the thanes. How fares my wife?
If only I could howl the words where none could hear.
What words? Tell them to me.
Your wife has been savagely slaughtered.
Merciful heavens. And my children?
Wife, babies, servants, everyone was murdered that could be found. Your castle was surprised.
All my pretty ones? All that was precious to me? At one fell swoop? Who did this?
The same as killed Duncan.
God rest my family.
Let grief convert to anger. The King of England has offered me 10,000 strong and a general to lead them. Let us march to Dunsinane and rout out the bloody tyrant.
Heaven bring me face to face with this fiend of Scotland, and he shall not escape.
Vengeance.
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 In Macbeth's castle, Lady Macbeth's maid talks with a doctor.
Every night I see her rise from her bed and sleepwalk.
Has she uttered anything?
I dare not say. Shh, here she comes.
As they peer down the hallway, Lady Macbeth appears, walking as if in a trance, holding a candle. She puts it down.
Look how she rubs her hands together.
She does that over and over again as if washing her hands.
Out, damn spy, out, I say. Fie, my lord. What need we fear who knows it? No one has power over us. Yet who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
Did you hear that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? Will these hands never be clean? No more killing, my lord. Please, you'll ruin everything.
What has she known?
Here's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand.
This disease is beyond me. She needs a priest, not a doctor.
Banquo was buried, I tell you. He cannot come out of his grave.
Foul whisperings.
To bed. To bed. What's done cannot be undone.
Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Look after her and listen to what she might confess. Infected minds discharge secrets to their pillows.
On the heath and plains, the Scottish army marches toward Dunsinane to gather with Macduff, Malcolm, and the English forces.
We will meet the troops near Burnham Wood. What news do we have of the tyrant?
He's fortified in his castle. Some say he's mad.
Now he feels his secret murders sticking on his hands.
Scotland is in revolt.
Now his title hangs about him like a giant robe upon a dwarfish thief.
Meanwhile, back at the castle, Macbeth prattles about, overconfidently, with blind pride.
Bring no more reports of rebellion. Nothing can touch me till great Birnam Wood shall come to Dunsinane, or so the sisters said. And Malcolm, what is he, born of woman like everyone else? He has no power over me. My mind and heart shall never sag with doubt or shake with fear.
The soldiers are coming. There are 10,000 of them.
I'll fight till my flesh is hacked from my bones. My armor.
As the servant runs to get it, Lady Macbeth's doctor comes in.
What news of my lady?
Her mind is very troubled.
Well, can't you cure a diseased mind? Pluck sorrow from a memory? Cleanse the stuff that weighs a heart?
No, for that, a patient must minister to herself.
I'll have none of that. Bring my armor. I shall not be afraid of death or bane, till great Birnam Forest shall come to Dunsinane.
Back on the battlefront, Malcolm addresses the armies.
Here at Birnam Wood, we joined to fight the tyrant. Soldiers, cut down a branch or bough and bear it before you to hide our numbers.
Macbeth keeps in his castle. Those he commands only do what they're told. They have no heart in it.
Then let us advance.
Nearly alone, Macbeth, in armor, clatters around the castle like a chain against cold stone.
Hang out our banners. Our castle strength will laugh them to scorn. Let them lie outside the walls until famine and fever eat them alive. What is that noise?
It's the cries of the ladies' maids.
The servant runs toward the sound, but Macbeth is unfazed.
Have I forgotten the taste of fear? I have supped so full with horrors that a terrifying sound no longer frightens me.
The servant returns, looking upset.
My lord, the queen is dead.
Despite his previous calm, the king sinks into his chair, aghast.
Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty place day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted the fool's way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard of no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Messenger dashes in.
I don't know how to report what I just saw, but as I stood on the ramparts, Birnam Wood began to move.
Liar!
Go see for yourself.
The phantom said, "Fear not till Birnam Wood shall come to Dunsinane." And now, Birnam Wood is moving toward Dunsinane. Ring the alarms!
Meanwhile, in the distance,
Sound the trumpets! Throw down your leafy screens, men! We are near enough!
Macbeth peers out his window and sees the army advancing.
Tyrant, show your face! Fortune lead me to him, for I shall avenge my family's death.
Sword in hand, Macduff spies Macbeth around a corner.
Turn, hellhound, turn!
Get back! My soul is charged to draw your blood!
I will not waste words on a villain. My voice is in my sword.
Let fall your sword! I bear a charmed life, which will yield to no man of woman born.
Despair that charm. I was ripped from my mother's womb before her time was due.
Curses on your tongue! I will not fight with you!
Yield then. We will hang you on a pole and display you as a monster, with a sign reading, "Here hangs the tyrant."
I will not yield, even though great Birnam Wood has come to Dunsinane, and you are of no woman born. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be he who cries enough!
Filled with passion for his country and his family, Macduff brandishes his sword with skill. Sparks fly as metal hits metal. Two passionate beasts fight to the death like armored dragons. Throughout the halls, soldiers' voices echo like thunder.
Hail to the new king, for so you are. Behold the usurper's cursed head.
My thanes and kinsmen, call home our exiled friends who fled from the tyranny of the dead butcher and his fiendish wife who died at her own violent hand. You will be Scotland's honored earls, by grace of grace, and now each one we invite to see us crowned.
Cawdor has betrayed us. Strip him of his title and give it to our hero, Macbeth. I screwed that up.
Macbeth greets the king, goes to his chamber.
Is this a dagger I see before me? Handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch you.
He swipes at the dagger.
I was going, so my horror follows your horror. And I've forgotten the line.
Banquo bears himself royally and has clear wisdom.
Macduff, Thane of Fife. If only I could howl the words where none could hear.
What words? Tell them to me.
Yo.
Great Burnham Woods house come to Dustin. That's the name.
Soldiers, grab a bough or branch.
Sword in hand, Macduff.
Vengeance!
Vengeance!
Vengeance! Vengeance!